The 2020 COVID pandemic was a terrible thing, but it had two positive outcomes for me. It made me focus on my spiritual health and be more vigilant about taking care of my physical health. AegisMedSupply.com sells an assortment of personal protection equipment for both the civilian and professional. I've also worked in multiple areas of the healthcare field and know how vital it is to have the right equipment for the job. AegisMedSupply.com can help with that as well, from first aid to diabetic care, from diagnostic tools to convalescent care. AegisMedSupply.com has what you need, whether you are an individual or a healthcare company requiring bulk orders, and they ship worldwide. When you need the right tool to maintain an excellent standard of medical care, remember, Aegis Med Supply is there. Look for the link in the episode description. Welcome to the Sun and Saturn podcast. I'm your host, and this is where we search for the truth together by exploring spiritual concepts, usually from a perspective that makes the mainstream a little uncomfortable. Today, we're tackling the Great Divide. In almost every magical and religious community, there is a struggle between good and evil. It's a narrative that has infected everything: our politics, our entertainment, and even the way we view our own personal lives. We are taught that evil must be eradicated and that good must thrive. But have you ever noticed that neither side ever truly gets the upper hand? The scale never stops tipping. Today we're asking why and how that answer changes your spiritual practice. To explore this, we're looking at the most popular book in the world, the Bible. Now, I want to be clear. This isn't about discrediting Christianity. It's about showing how these texts can free a mind just as easily as they can be used to enslave one. If we want to understand the nature of reality, we have to look at the nature of source. The first thing we have to accept, if we follow the scripture, is that God exists at every level of reality. There is no corner of the universe where the source is absent. Look at Psalms chapter 139. It tells us that whether we ascend to heaven or make our bed in hell or Sheol, the depths, source is there. There is no separation, despite the illusion many of us carry that we've been cut off. But here's the part that people skip over. If God is all-encompassing, then the spirits we've labeled as evil are still part of that same divinity. It sounds radical, but it's right there in the text. Isaiah 45:7 is explicit. I form the light and create the darkness. I make peace and create evil. I, the Lord, do all these things. In Psalm 78, we see God casting his wrath by sending evil angels among people. Even Satan isn't an outsider. In the book of Job, when the sons of God come to present themselves before the Lord, who is standing right there in the assembly? Satan. He isn't a rebel crashing the party. He is an attendee with a seat at the table. Even the test for spirits in 1 John chapter 4 doesn't say a spirit must be pure or good to be valid. It only asks if they acknowledge the Christ. The spectrum of divinity is much wider than we are led to believe. So how does this change your practice? To get a profound understanding of God, you cannot ignore the shadows. Ephesians 4 reminds us that he who ascended is the same one who first descended into the lower parts of the earth. If we are made in the image of the divine, then we must encompass the whole spiritual spectrum. To ignore the dark is to reject a half of your divine inheritance. Now let's be clear. This isn't a license to commit crimes or cause harm. This is about wisdom. It means it isn't wrong to consider the perspective of spirits that society has demonized, provided they pass your own test of discernment. Balance is the key. To reach your utmost potential, you must be willing to walk the whole path, not just the sunlit portions. Do what you will with this information. Think for yourself and let no one lead you astray. If you want to dive deeper or share your thoughts, reach out to us at soscubed@gmail.com. That's SOSCUBED at gmail.com. Until next time, keep searching.